hear us?
Let me turn my sound off so I couldn't tell if we were on or not.
Yeah, go ahead and check it. I bet we... Can you hear us now? Can you hear us now? Yeah.
Yeah, talk louder.
It's on. All right. Well, we didn't have the mic on. We're on 275 coming around the loop of Cincinnati. Took this to avoid the traffic. We're in Kentucky getting ready to join back up with I-75 South on our way to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. It's a beautiful day, blue skies and sun. It says it's 53 degrees out there right now.
Make sure you tell us where you're from so we know where you're at.
Says we got 5 people in the chat. Go ahead and say hi. Let us know who you are, where you're from. See the sign up there. We're getting ready to join back on the I-75 as we go under the railroad overpass at Norfolk Southern.
Love Pugs 05 is Northeast Ohio.
Well, it's good to have you here. I grew up in the Pittsburgh area, so I'm a little familiar with Northeast Ohio. How's the weather in Northeast Ohio today?
We did really good coming down 75 through Dayton and through Cincinnati.
Yeah, we haven't had any hang-ups yet. Knock on wood. It stays this way. Dayton and Cincinnati are usually the 2 trouble spots whenever we travel to Tennessee. And as we say that, there's the flashing lights, but
Someone got pulled over.
yeah, someone's having a bad day.
Yeah, that might be car issues maybe.
A couple of them.
Yeah,
Somebody else.
love Pittsburgh.
Love Pittsburgh.
Love my
Sunny up in Northeast Ohio today. I grew up in Beaver County, which wasn't too far from Pittsburgh. We go back a couple times a year to visit family. Got the camera set up so you guys can watch the road and check out the scenery rather than looking at us. We can flip it around if we have to, but not the easiest way to set these cameras up in the car to do this.
Yeah, they really haven't made a dash cam or a camera that mount that you can put in your car that's really worth anything.
This is a rental car, so we can't permanently attach anything to the dashboard. Well, we could, but we might not like it too well. From our end, it looks like you've got a pretty good view of the highway. It's probably a lot more interesting than looking at us.
And we take a trip to Gatlinburg area a couple times a year. Once in the springish time, and then once in the fall. I don't really care to go there in the summer. I don't like all the people being around. You can't really enjoy yourself walking around Gatlinburg with all the people on the sidewalks.
Yeah, this is a really good time of the year to go down there. It's very, very slow. The drawback is not everything is going to be open, but most everything will be. But you won't have the long lines for the restaurants or the traffic. You can actually see things and enjoy things a little bit better than compared to a busy time of the year.
I think you get to see more that you haven't seen before because there's always people in the way.
else in the chat. Say hello. Let us know where you're from.
We'll do a live every so often on our trip down.
We're trying out this vertical live on YouTube, which is a new feature that they're pushing. I think they're doing it to try and compete with TikTok a little bit. The vertical lives will show up in the shorts feed. Not sure how people that are in here found us, if they're subscribers or just randomly came in. Let's see, Jules.
No, I did. It's just a smiley face. Which one? I did that. Just pops up up there.
Okay. Maybe it's up there. No. It's got the.
Yeah, that's on there. Because that's right there.
Okay, hit that. There we go.
If you've been to Gatlinburg, let us know what kind of attractions or restaurants that you really enjoyed going to. Maybe it's something we haven't done yet.
Lots to do down there, that's for sure.
We bounce between Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg while we're down there. I like going over to the island and the mountain mile.
We're going to be staying at the Marshall's Creek Motel, which is, I think it's in a really good location. It's just a couple minute walk to the parkway.
And you get a spot right in front of your room, so you have a designated parking spot, so you don't have to park far away from your room.
Rates are really cheap this time of year. The nice thing about staying in that side of town, it's kind of towards the entrance over by the behind the village, that end of town. But during busy times, you can take a back road out of there that goes up behind the Anakista, brings you out to 321, where you can then make a right and head down towards the Food City and Glades Road, grab a back road shortcut to Pigeon Forge and miss all that spur traffic. So whenever we do go down there, we like the Marshall's Creek, we like the Jack Huff for that reason. You're not in a lot of trouble when there's a lot of traffic that way. You can easily get around it. The other motel that we like down there is the Edgewater, which you can get probably the best views in Gatlinburg. Besides
You gotta pay a little extra to have the
Yeah.
parkway view, but it's worth it than looking at the woods behind you.
Yeah, that's a really nice place to stay.
They have a great breakfast buffet.
The only negative,
Yeah.
it's not a fault of the hotel, is it's located on River Road. So if the traffic is really bad, it's not easy to get in and out of there. And I guess the other negative thing is those elevators. Man, there's 2 elevators in there, and you can spend a lot of time waiting on those elevators in the luggage carts. the mad fight to get a luggage cart to get all your stuff down, because you really don't want to have to ride that elevator twice on a busy move out day. So if you've been to Gatlinburg, let us know where you like to stay. Warning here, slow traffic ahead. I think we had this last time we came down here. It's not as bad as it looks. It's probably just where it's joining up with I-75.
There's nothing on the map. We're fine. I don't see any backup.
Welcome in, everyone. Beautiful sunny day. Traveling from Ohio to Tennessee. We're on I-275 right now, getting ready to join up to I-75 just south of Cincinnati. Dump trucks on this section of road.
Yeah, I see that.
Our first stop along the way will be where, Sonia?
We're going to Richmond, Kentucky to Buc-ee's.
You always stop there?
Yeah, stop there. It's a good stopping point to get lunch, fill up some gas if needed.
It's about the halfway point for us from where we live.
You go to the bathroom. $10, $10, $10, $5.
So you could leave one if you have
A super thanks, yes, but I don't have.
Okay, hey, I think we're back. I don't know what's going on with this service. I would think, you know, we're right outside of Cincinnati on the loop. And I don't know why we're having such trouble here. 5G, I don't know. It seems like whenever we get in 5G, it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, it says we're in 5G UM, which is supposed to be really good, which I see it keeps trying to tell us that we need to reconnect.
So I don't know. What's your experience with 5G? I don't know.
We have Verizon, so if you guys know of a better service.
I just feel that the 5G never works as good as the 4G did, and I don't know if it's me, but I don't know. Anytime I see the 5G UM, it seems like we always have connection problems, and I don't know why.
So if you do lose us, we'll be right back as soon as it reconnects.
And we were out for quite a while there,
Yeah.
and we're right outside of Cincinnati. And you know what we did? We missed the turn to Cincinnati because I was paying attention to this. Sure did.
You sure did?
Why are we going across the bridge? Okay, there's a negative to YouTube Live right there. Was not paying attention to the road, and we missed our turn.
Yeah, you're still good too. Am I going the wrong way? All right, we had a little mishap driving and talking, taking 275. So now we have to get our way back to 75. We're not too far off the route. But, you know, that happens.
It totally blew right by the exit for 75.
Yeah, we did. That's okay.
I thought something was weird when we saw the Creation Museum. I'm like, I don't ever remember seeing that.
That's why they say never drive and text.
Sonia was supposed to be my navigator. There's Ohio Travel with
I cannot
Chris.
navigate and watch the chat at the same time. Yeah, oops, it happens. It's no big deal. We didn't go that far.
Well, it was probably when we lost the connection.
Yeah.
All right, we will get ourselves back on track.
Oh, you're for Finley. Awesome. Sharon. I've been through Georgia when we went to Tennessee. I've been down to Florida before. I didn't like the traffic during peak time. That was terrible. That gives you a couple opportunities to check out a couple Buc-ee's as you go that way. And you can always check out that Buc-ee's in Richmond, Kentucky, and then there's one or two in Georgia. Now we get turned around here, we'll be all good to go. We get back on track. Back to 275.
Don't YouTube and drive, right?
Don't try to live and drive if you can't navigate both. Especially when you get off 75 to take the bypass so you're not stuck in the traffic. There was a little blip on 75 over by Reading, however you say it. So we took the bypass at 275 just so we could get around all that without stopping.
Then we had a connection issue with this.
Yeah, the phone keeps reconnecting.
And we weren't paying attention.
It happens. Now they get a cool view of those stacks out there that way.
We're
You
just
couldn't see them earlier.
trying to give some entertainment. Someone in the chat should have been yelling, "You missed your turn! You missed your turn! Where you guys at?"
Well, at least we understood it before we got too far down the road. That's okay.
Well, we wanted to touch into another state. See, now we can add Indiana to the mix for today.
I was wondering why I was going to Indiana when I was going through Cincinnati to Kentucky. Now I do some sightseeing before we get too far, I guess. Anybody on live has gone to Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge. What's your favorite thing? Some ideas of something maybe we haven't done yet. I'd really like to go over to the Mountain Mile and get on that swing if I don't have a heart attack.
We can make that happen.
The one time we went there to go get on that swing and they weren't open yet. It said it was closed for maintenance. I'm like, that's nice. That swing's pretty neat. It's scary looking, but then you get to do the drop at the same time. So the gotcha guy.
Yeah, if you've ever seen the YouTube shorts, the TikTok videos with the guy always says, "Got him." We actually met him a couple years ago down here. I don't know if he's still around. I haven't seen one of those videos in a while.
Did he have like a relative that was sick or something? I thought.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, we're back. Welcome to Kentucky.
We've got 10 people. Well, we had 10 people in the chat. That's a lot for us.
Yeah. Before 11 o'clock in the morning.
You guys got to watch us make a wrong turn.
At least it was noticed before we got too far off path.
Our lane's gone.
Yeah. Or maybe get by the semi before he does. Hurry up, just passing.
He has plenty of room. Chris.
Kringle.
Hello, Chris. Good to see you. Tell us where you're from, everyone. We are on our way to Gatlinburg, Tennessee from Ohio, just south of Cincinnati.
Getting ready to join back up on 75 on our 275 bypass.
Chris came. Oh, that's okay. That's Ohio Travels with Chris. Okay. Okay, good. Yeah, I remember jumping in your live a week or two ago when I had a day off. I know that Chris is looking forward to the Buc-ee's in Huber Heights opening up, and she's been watching our construction videos on that. I think they're really starting to make some progress there. When we were down there this past weekend, you can see it looks like the footers to the building are being put in place. You know, the utility poles have been moved. You can kind of see where the fuel pump canopies are going to be. We've got a machine down there that digs holes, which I'm guessing is to dig the support beams for the canopies. And when you look at the site with the drone video from the map that they had up at the groundbreaking, you can kind of see where all that's going to be. And that one parking lot looks like it's ready for concrete or asphalt, whichever they're going to do. You know, it's all leveled out. The drains are sticking up.
Yeah, I think they'll be able to speed up the process now that the weather's getting nicer and there's not going to be any snow. I think they were like maybe a little slower because of all the cold and the snow.
The last 2 months, the weather's just been awful at that location. Brutal cold, snow and ice. I mean, they've been working and we can see progress, but that can't be fun, and it has to slow you down to be working in those conditions. Plus, I think once that building structure goes up, that's really going to pick up pace. I mean, the fuel storage tanks are in the ground, and they're working on the fuel islands now, so there's many different things going on at one time down there. And we were down there on a Sunday this week. There was people in there, you know, wasn't a full crew of people in there working, but they're hard at it. So hopefully, you know, they're saying December of this year. So hopefully that'll actually happen. I know initially they said it would take 18 months from groundbreaking, which would have put us into 26, but you know, the guy that owns Buc-ee's at the groundbreaking said December of 25. I guess he would know.
Yeah. We're currently on 275, getting ready to go back on to 75, heading toward Tennessee.
Currently we are just south of Cincinnati on 275. We missed it. Due to being on YouTube Live, we missed our turn on the 75 the first attempt. So.
She says keep watching. She's gonna keep watching your fight updates.
Well, we appreciate that. What's the name?
Share.
Say it.
Share H.
Okay, Share H. We appreciate you watching the updates. We try and keep them going at least once a week. Sometimes we go down there and we make a video and we just think that it doesn't look much different, but we just try and put a small one up anyhow. Just there's little changes that when you're down there and you fly the drone, you got this tiny little screen to see the video on. And you don't see a whole lot of changes, and then when you get home and you put it on the computer to do the edit, then you start noticing things like, hey, look at this, look at that. You know, we didn't even mention it because we didn't notice it when we were there.
Hey Andrew, we did a video on that Frisch's mainliner. We went down there. We was kind of shocked they let us fly that drone. If you watch the video, you'll see that.
Yeah, Andrew's commented on that, but he lives there.
Yeah.
Right near there.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We made a video for that.
Yeah, what's it look like now that they've taken the sign out? We drove by a couple Frisch's last week in Bethel, Batavia, and Huber Heights. And the ones in Bethel and Batavia have these sensor alarms on the outside. It just makes a noise for a few seconds and goes away. But
And they got him staged like a couple of times around the building, so when you drive by it, these alarms keep going off. It's kind of annoying.
so we made a couple videos, which we'll probably put it all into one, about the abandoned Frisch's. The one in Bethel had a really cool older sign. It was nowhere near as cool as the one at the mainliner, but it was really nice. And then the one in Batavia had this really cool glass block entranceway or entrance area, and the one in Huber Heights was just kind of more modern and standard. You have to read what they say because I can't read the chat.
Chris Kriggle says we drove by the one on Colonel Glenn when our lights are on but no vehicles. We saw some lights on in one of the ones at either Batavia or Bethel that actually
Yeah, well, they all
had
power.
on.
Yeah, they all had power on. Just start reading the beach one.
Yeah, I'm sure that is really a ghost town there, Andrew, now that they don't have the mainliner there.
We did see where the big boy chain, and I'm not sure how that all works because there's a Frisch's, a Bob's, and a Shoney's, all big boys, but we had seen on the news where the big boy chain itself was looking to possibly reopen some of the closed locations in the Cincinnati area. So I would think that the mainliner would be the obvious choice to be one of the ones that you'd want to reopen with all the history there.
Or they're going to take all the Frisch's restaurants and make them Chi-Chi's.
Well,
As Chi-Chi's is coming back.
I think I'd rather see them.
I'd rather see the Frisch's myself. But.
Keep reading. Well, they took the mainliner sign over to the Cincinnati Sign Museum, so at least it got preserved.
Yeah, they took that sign down there though, Andrew. They're probably going to have to put another one back if they want to reopen it back up.
We have a Frisch's in our hometown in Sydney, and it didn't close. And I think they say that it's independently owned, or somebody bought it but kept the Frisch's name. It never closed. They went through a remodel, but we haven't been in there since it happened. But so I don't know. I guess there's hope.
Yeah, the one in Sydney we still have open. The one in Tip City and the one in Troy are still closed.
You know, this looks to be our exit up here. We want to make sure we don't miss it this time.
Yeah, I don't want to keep going around.
We went quite a ways past her, didn't we?
I went too far. I find that the Frisch's are pretty good. It's just some of them don't really have the chili is not the same in all of them.
Okay. I'm gonna concentrate on not missing it this time.
Hopefully we couldn't get over for that poor Rumpke guy.
Okay, we connected with our exit ramp this time. We'll shortly be on I-75 going through Florence. We're going past the Florence Mall. We did a video on the Florence Mall about a year ago. Well, we filmed it about a year ago. It just went up not too long ago. We don't always get the videos up very quickly. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, sure. The sky is pretty. It's not too cloudy. Hopefully it stays like that all the way down to Tennessee. Yeah, Florence, y'all. I just love. Hey, Chris, I just love that tower there in Florence.
And I don't know if you watched the video or not, but the interesting story on that tower. The tower was built before the mall. At the time the mall was being built, or something like that. And originally the tower said Florence Mall. But the mall wasn't open yet. And there was some kind of ordinance in the city of Florence that said you couldn't advertise a business that wasn't open. So they went up on the tower and they changed the word mall to the word y'all, and then it just stuck. And then even after the mall opened, they just left it say Florence y'all. Now everybody that drives through this area, you know, it's a landmark. It's a roadside attraction. And even the minor league baseball team that plays down here in Florence, you know, their nickname is the Y'alls. It's the Florence Y'alls baseball team. If they're still around, I think they are. The stadium's right across the highway here.
Andrew, I think the weather in the last few months has been bad in Ohio altogether. So hopefully this is a nice break.
Hopefully we've put that all behind us. We've been spoiled the last couple years with some pretty mild winters.
Yeah, Chris, it's pretty cool when you do go through there and get that picture. And if you go into the mall and actually watch the planes go by, you can get a picture of the plane going by that tower, because the planes are really low.
the airplane traffic at that mall is insane. I mean, we got FAA permission to fly there when we made that video last year. But you really got to be careful because them planes are coming in hot and heavy.
Yeah, it's like you're right in the runway kind of deal. But it was pretty cool. They had a carnival in the parking lot at the same time. So you could capture the Ferris wheel of the carnival with the plane and the tower all together. I think we captured that in the video that we did.
Yeah, that was not an easy day to fly. It was very windy. We had the permission code from the FAA, but the program to run the drone wasn't accepting it. I don't know how it all came together, but finally it took the code, but you still had to be very careful flying because of the planes and the weather. And right underneath this bridge here is the water tower we've been talking about. And you should get a good view of it right there.
There's the tower, the Florence Y'all Tower.
If you've ever been by here, you know where we're at now. It's not a bad mall. I mean, compared to most malls in today's world. They used to have a double-decker carousel in there, which they don't have anymore, which is kind of sad.
Yeah, we'll be safe, Cher.
I'm doing the driving and Sonia's running the live stream, so we're not putting ourselves in danger here. I don't know if you can see too much with the vertical, but there on the left is the minor league baseball stadium.
I can turn it just a little bit.
It actually looks like They are still called the yalls. And then for the kids, it looks like they call them the little yallers. It's getting kind of warm here. 59 degrees right now, it says outside. So we left this morning, Sydney, Ohio. It was about 32, and the weather app said there was a wintry mix.
Yeah, I looked outside. I'm like, really? It didn't look like it outside. But I could see where it had rained overnight. Here in Mansfield now.
Okay. Well, 38 feels pretty good compared to what it had been.
Yeah, it's better than a single digits in the 20s. I know we come back on Saturday. By the time we get back, it's going to be pretty cold compared to where we'll be leaving.
Have your travels, Chris, ever taken you down to the Richmond, Kentucky Buc-ee's?
Nope.
No? Well, you won't have to travel that far soon. You'll have one in Huber Heights. Richmond, Kentucky is it's about 3 hours from Sydney, so probably about an hour and a half south of Cincinnati. The Mansfield, that'd be a pretty good drive. I'd say 4 to 5 hours probably. And the one in Richmond is a little smaller than the one that they're building in Huber Heights. And it's a little smaller than the one that's down in Sevierville, Tennessee. It's 54,000 square feet compared to 74,000. But from our experience, really the only difference between the larger and the smaller Buc-ee's is just the amount of space inside the store. I really didn't. We've been to both Richmond and Sevierville, and I really can't say that even though Sevierville is much larger, that there's more there, other than the fact that there's a lot more space in between all the displays. Now, Sevierville does have a car wash, which Richmond doesn't have. But they all have about 100 gas pumps. So, what's the difference between 100 gas pumps and 120? I mean, it's not a big difference.
Chris says that his mom lives near Bowling Green, and it's like 6 to 7. It goes 6 to 7 from there. Any near Knoxville? Sevierville's the closest.
Yeah, Sevierville will be just south of Knoxville. Probably, it's actually Kodak. Was at exit 207 off of 40. I think it's 207. Really, that is just on the outskirts of Knoxville. So they built another one in Tennessee too. I believe it's on 40 heading towards Nashville, but we've never been there, and I don't even remember the town. But there is another one in Tennessee. But the one in Sevierville, it's right outside of Knoxville.
We usually don't travel too much north in Ohio. We usually go south. We go out and visit a friend in Toledo every so often. Occasionally meet him halfway, which for us and him, that would be around Findlay.
Yeah. You want to try flipping it around, or do you think it's just better showing the?
Well, the sun's coming in here. Be on my face.
Yeah, we really struggled finding a way to set this camera up because this is a rental vehicle, and the rear view mirror is extremely
Fat.
it's a fat. It's a weird shape. As far as we looked at some suction cup mounts to put the phone on the window, but we really wanted to do a vertical live because that's we're in a little program with YouTube to experiment with the vertical lives and kind of learn about it. We could not get the phone to mount to any kind of suction cup mount we had live or vertical without, it just wouldn't do it. I think horizontal we would have been okay. So we had a little stand that we use around the house, and it sits on the dash pretty good. Got a rubber band around the stand to hold the phone in so it doesn't fall out, and it kind of wedged itself right up there to the back side of the mirror, and from our angle it looks like you're getting a pretty good picture of the interstate. If we flip it around on us,
Yeah, you're going to see a lot more of the mirror. You can't really angle it down too much without trying to hold it.
You can see us on our videos. Yeah, you'd probably rather watch the road now.
I'm just happy it's a nice sunny day and it's not got no rain.
Yes. We've driven down here in the rain before. It's not fun. So we're on I-75. We're now south of Florence, Kentucky. The weather's perfect. The traffic's good.
Almost 60 degrees outside. About ready to shed this jacket I'm wearing.
Now look at this bus in front of us here. I can't make it out yet. What does
Looks
that
like
say?
Barron's bus. It's got a cross on it. Looks like a Monopoly guy on top.
Yeah.
Ride like royalty.
Well, that's a pretty...
God bless. With the cross in the corner. That's pretty cool. I've never seen nothing like that.
Pretty cool looking tour bus.
See if I can get the side view of it for you. Barron's bus.
That's a really nice...
It's got Wi-Fi, power outlets. There's a lady driving it too.
It's a really nice branding and logo that they've got going on there.
Yeah.
We get amused by the small things in life. Got anybody new in here?
Yeah, I think just, if Chris is still here, I think it's just me and Chris. And we're just going to jump in and out of here on our way down to Tennessee.
There's a sign down there advertising for eggs. Which, eggs are not cheap right now.
Yeah, if you got a farm, you're probably making some good money about right now.
Lonely stretch of highway here.
Not too much to see right now.
A lot of times we travel down here at night and you don't see anything.
And normally we like to leave when we get off work in the evening and then just come down and get down here around 11 or 12. Just letting the hotel know that we would be late if we would do that.
Yeah, like we said earlier, we're gonna spend 3 nights at the Marshall's Creek. I think it's called the Marshall's Creek Rest. It's a nice little motel. The rooms kind of remind you of a small cabin with the way the walls are made. Your own personal parking space.
And if you've been to Gatlinburg, you know that is awesome.
Yeah, parking in Gatlinburg is a premium. It's a good $20, $25. I think there's I've heard that one lot's $10. and then there is an hour lot, pay by the hour lot. There's also a lot of confusion in some places, and people get towed because they park in the wrong spot. So we try and stay in Gatlinburg. That way the parking in Gatlinburg is solved, and then we like to drive to Pigeon Forge and the other areas because there's plenty of free parking in those areas. It just kind of keeps you from having to spend 20 hours a day to park in Gatlinburg. And hopefully the weather's good enough to keep the road through the national park open, and we can take a day and drive down to Cherokee over to Maggie Valley. But if they close that road and Interstate 40 not being open, we really don't want to get stuck over there. It'd be a long way back. 40 is supposed to, they said March 1st, they're going to have one lane in each direction open, which is kind of amazing that they can get that much work done that fast. But one lane in both directions, 40 miles an hour, is much better than what they've got right now, which is completely closed. How long have we been on here? 54 minutes.
Almost an hour.
Wow. The Williamstown exit has the Ark encounter, just a big replica of the Noah's Ark Museum. We've never been there, but you kind of see it as you pass by.
Yeah, it's just me now.
We're in it. There's a place to live.